Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Drew. This is Just a Guy Linux on YouTube, and today I'm going to destroy the very little Linux credibility that I have. You could say that I would bash that credibility. Anyway, I am going to talk about micro and I have in some of my videos, but not at the level that I guess I will today. I watched Matt doing his challenge using Nano, and I understand the idea behind the challenge because I saw him using Nano in this like speed run, and he was struggling. I had to switch back to NeoVim, and I understand that completely. I wish that I could use NeoVim correctly. I always have it installed. I always have, look, I always have it installed, and I always have and I mean, I'm not using it to do programming or to use it as an IDE. I am trying to figure out how to do this more effectively. I just am terrible at it. So I have an init.vim file, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my choice, which is micro. So quickly, I saw that Matt also did a like a kind of review on micro. Was this 10 months ago? 8 months ago? And you know, he had some good things to say, and he pointed out some things that he felt were lacking, and I agreed with him. Now, overall, there was a couple fixes, which we'll talk about, but there's a couple also problems associated with it, in my opinion, that should be addressed or fixed. So let's go to the micro website, and you can see that in its current form, let me go just click the download button real quick. It is almost a year since its last release. So let's go 10 months, okay? And we're at version 2.0.11. And if you look at what is currently on Bullseye, it is a little bit further back. Now, when Bookworm is out, we will be on the latest and greatest. But if you want, it is really simple to use this line to install. So let's copy that real quick, and let's open up a terminal, and let's paste and quickly install. Okay. Let's go ahead and close this terminal. Well, we'll just leave it open. But let's go into this plugins section, okay? And there is not like the wealth of plugins that you would have with Vim or NeoVim. In fact, I only used like 3 of these plugins, and one of them is actually not good at all, but it's there. Okay, and we'll talk about that, but it's this file manager. This file manager, you know, when you look at this file manager, basically inside of NeoVim, it's really, really good. It's not that good when it comes to micro. Now, if you are let me just go ahead and finish this thought, but if you are using like a terminal file manager like LF or Ranger or something like that, you could probably figure out a way just to edit. It might pop up like maybe a new terminal window. That would be probably ideal to use a terminal file manager to edit your files. Let's go ahead and get into it though. Typically, all you would need to do is say micro, and then we're going to go and look at the bash rc file, okay? Now, within this file, you can use all your arrow keys, you know, and that's, again, this makes me look bad, I think, but I'm just going to roll with it. And I do have, like I said, some aliases set up. So like if I typed E for edit, where I know that a lot of people use V for in Vim, I use E for edit, use for micro. I also have a quick shortcut for editing the bash RC. I just say BS. And maybe that's not a good one, but you get the idea. So I'm just going to close this. And what I like about this is, like with, let's say, you know what, I'm going to go over here to workspace 3 and I'm just going to open up Genie, okay? And if you look at the save keys, there's nothing to, well, and you look at the shortcuts, it's Control S, and if you want to close, I guess there's Control W, but also Control Q to quit. So for example, if I go and I make a change here and I hit Control S, you'll see at the bottom that it's saved, and if I hit Control Q, it actually exits the editor and closes it. Okay, just like a desktop or a GTK type of application for text editing, it uses the same key bindings for saving and quitting, which I like because that way I'm used to using those things. Okay. Now, while we're here and we've got this plugins page open, okay, let me install the ones that I install. So as we go down, I'm just going to go micro, and then it's dash plugin install, and then let's just go with the first one, which is I think the first one on the list is WC. Oh, WC. Okay. And so it's installed those. And I probably can do this all in one line, but I just want to do it individually. So I'm going to up arrow, and I'm going to go ahead and install Gotham colors because I like those. And let's install the file manager. Like I said, I'll show it to you. Okay. And is there anything else? I mean, I'd be willing to do this. I say bookmarks, maybe some misspell. Let's try that. I've never used this before, so this will be new. Okay. Nord colors and quick fix. I don't know. I'll take a look at some of these other things later. I'm actually very close to putting a blog together for Just a Guy Linux because I'm trying to learn some other stuff. Anyway, so let's talk about some of these. Now, if I just go back in to, I think I can just type E, right? Yeah. So if I go in, I have a blank file. I can Control E. So down here, you'll see this kind of like cursor. And it's waiting for some type of feedback. Now again, you see all these things like Alt-G for key bindings. And you can do set space, and you can start seeing all the things that you can set within the interface. Okay? And like even file manager, you can say file manager. I think it's true or something like that. I wouldn't use it, but we'll probably look at it in a second. All right. So anyway, you can also disable the mouse. Anyway, let's just do that. Let's hold off on that. But I'm going to Alt G. So if you have multiple things open, or you just want to like cut lines or duplicate lines, or open a new tab, you can do all those things using these, what I think are very reasonable key bindings. So let's just say I am and I can like duplicate the line, Control D, Control D, Control D. You can duplicate lines or Control K. You can do that. I'm just going to put this up here. And if I want, like I said, I can use the arrow keys, but Control K, Control K, Control K. Okay, and now let's actually just quit this. Control Q. Okay. Now I know I'm doing some rudimentary things, so feel free to skip ahead. I'll try to timestamp everything, but if I open up the editor again, and I just say true, and I copy it a bunch of times, so I'm just going to hit, I'm just going to hold the Control D key down and get about 45 lines now, and then I go, and like I'm just saying, using the key. I'm trying not to use the mouse for people that use Vim's benefit. And then I go like this, just by holding down the Shift key, and then I hit delete. I'm able to like remove blocks of text or multiple lines and very easily. Now I know that it's not so easy when you're talking about Nano, for example. You can't do that in Nano, but you can in Micro. Okay, so also I'm going to hit Control E for also, and I know that it's easy to do global changes in NeoVim, but with Micro, all you do is you say replace all, and then you would go true, and then say false. And you're changing the entire or the global document that's open. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the plugins. The very first plugin that I installed was WC. So if I use the Control E and say WC, it actually gives you feedback that says lines 15, which is obvious, and then words, obvious, and the number of characters. So whether that's valuable or not, you're going to have to be the determining factor on that one. Let's also do Control E and say set color scheme. And then if I just do that, I know what the right thing is. Now you can, like I said before, I showed you where you can just kind of cycle through after you use the word set, but now I can just go using the tab key to do the fill. Now if I do one more space, okay, and then I hit the tab key again, it will come up and tell you all the color schemes that are automatically built in, okay? And I'm gonna go, like I said before, I installed Gotham colors. So I went back, I need to go back actually, don't I? Okay, and I just, like I said, in command line, it's like an auto completion. So I'm just gonna hit that. Now, you're seeing a little bit of the color changes. We're gonna see a little bit more once we start doing a little bit more intricate things, okay? All right, I'm gonna hit Control A, okay? So that I can remove everything. I just hit Control A, and I'm gonna just backspace. And so I'm gonna type something just so I can show you. Let's say, you might say, Drew, what about actually doing something worthwhile, like writing code? And like I said, I'm not a coder by any stretch, but I will show you, if I use the quotes, it's going to give me both so that I can use what's inside. And I'm going to say dollar, and then paren, and which gives me both, and then date and space and single paren. And so I'm going to go like I said, I'm not very good at this. So plus %A space %B, and then %E, and then %R. Okay, and so that basically did everything I needed to do. So it gave me all the quotes, and then closed those quotes and parentheses. Okay, now you're seeing it's just text, but let's say I Control S for save. It's going to ask me or prompt me for the file name. Okay, now I'm going to save it as date.sh. Okay, so you'll notice once I saved it as a shell script, it did change the colors. So it's going to show, it's going to show you feedback. So like if you did Python or what have you, and you saved it, it's going to give you the type of feedback and colors and stuff like that you're going to need. Now I can't run this obviously, but unless I put in the shebang, what is it? This with user bin env, let's say, in bash. Okay, and then let's save that. Oop, I just hit it Control A, didn't I? Let's save that, and let's Control Q. Okay, and so if I chmod x date, and then I run date, you'll see that it shows up here. Okay, now let's go back. Let's say E, or for me, E, so let me just say micro date.sh. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about some of the plugins that we used. Okay, we changed the color, we did the word count. So how do you get your file manager? Okay, now I'm just going to show you the way, because I don't like using, again, this file manager, but if you just Control E and used tree, it's going to show you the file manager. Now, does this work well? No, it doesn't. So what do you have to do to get this? You have to use the arrow keys and let's say tab, okay? Now it automatically opens, so it's not going to explode everything the way it is, you know, and then it's not really, to me, it's not really sorting in a way that I like. So like I said, and there's probably a way to do this, I just don't use this function very much. So I'm going to go with DK, and then there you go. And it's opened, it kept open the existing file that we were using, plus it opened up the file, the file that we just selected. Okay, now let me, so what do you do? You say, I get that tree out of the way. All right, now you can use these the way it is in this is called split, and you can do the same thing. So if I come down here, Control E, and I say H split, and I want to, let's say, .bash rc, okay, you can see that I've got 3 things open now. And let's go ahead and move this to a different workspace, okay? And so I've got, like I said, 4 spaces open. Now, is this the best way to do this? I don't know, you know, because if I hit Control T, I've actually got 2 tabs open. So I could use, obviously, I can use multiple tabs here, you know, and I just say Control T, and I can open up another tab. All right, and like I said, Control Q. Oh, sorry, yeah, Control Q, and I'm back to my the original tab. Okay, now I recognize that I use my mouse to demonstrate something, so let me just do that again without using a mouse. So if like I said, if I hit Control T, I've opened up a new. I'm just going to go ahead and open up a few tabs, and I'm going to use the Alt and then the comma and the period. So comma, and I'm going backwards, and the period. Now notice it's up here. I just want to use my mouse to point. So if I hit period, it's changing each one, or the comma. Okay. So there you go. So I'm going to go, let me change, and then I'm going to, what am I doing? Oh, I hit the wrong button, sorry. So I'm going to go Control Q, Control Q, Control Q, and let me hit Control Z a couple times. That way I am, there we go, undo. Same thing with a lot of things, you know, you can use Control Z to undo something. Okay. Now I'm going to, I'm going down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and close this. So Control Q. And the reason why is because I was going to demonstrate opening up the tab in, opening up a file in a different tab. So like I've done a vertical split with this, I can just say Control E and then tab and then the .bash rc. Okay. And now again, I can switch between the 2 files and even the one that has a vertical split. Let's go over here to the kind of open window over here. And what I'm going to do is it's another split. And what I want to do, well, actually, I don't think I have to do that type of split. It's going to do it for me naturally for this one command. So if I said help commands, it automatically split the window so that you can see some of the keybinds that you might want to consider or use. All right. Now, how do I find where the tab section is? Okay. So if I hit Control F, which is find, and I say tab, okay, and it finds the very first one. Again, I'm using the mouse as a pointer. Okay. And so let's say I want to go to the next one. All right, it's not straightforward, but I'm just going to hit the Enter key to use tab. It's going to continue to highlight that tab that you see here. So I'm just going to hit Enter. All right, and so it's still active. Now when I hit Control N, you can see that it's actually going through the document and looking for the next one. Now if I hit Control N, so next, N for next. So Control N for the next, Control P for the previous one. Okay. Now let's go ahead and Control Q or quit. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this one over here and close. And so I'm still got my bash RC open. Okay. Okay, I wanted to address a few things that that people, and I remember Matt actually pointing this out on his review of Micro. There was a couple things that he needed to change in order for it to work. Oh, by the way, this is not right. This is Qtile. In order for it to work correctly. And so I would like to take a minute to address those couple issues. So I'm just going to open up a new tab. Oop, I'm on the wrong side. Let me open up a new tab. And one of them was word wrapping. And now Nano has this problem too. So like you see me just typing until I get to the point where it continues to go past the point where you can see it on the screen instead of wrapping on the screen. So what you need to do in order for it, and again, like he was right, it is not standard right out of the box. But if you go and you say set soft wrap to on, it automatically, boom, right there, it changed it so that that one really long line has now wrapped. Also, and this is a new feature, I think, it not used to be this way. So if you use set word wrap to on, it should have actually, it said invalid option. Is it true? Maybe let me try that one more time. Control E, set word wrap to true. No? Okay. Well, regardless, the soft wrap worked the way it was intended. I think that this is a newish function, is the word wrap command. Soft wrap's been there from the beginning, I think, or close to the beginning, but word wrap definitely was added after 2.08, which is what I've been using for a really long time. Okay. Now, also, you might want to consider the autosave. So if you go to set autosave, by default it's 0. Okay. So by default being 0 means it never autosaves. But if you want to give it a number like 120, it will autosave every 2 minutes. Okay. Or 60 seconds. Or whatever, but basically by the second. So if I just type that, it's going to start auto-saving every 60 seconds. Okay? Now, after this video, I wanted to say, it's like, everything is peaches and cream. Everything's great with Micro. It's the best thing ever. No, like with anything, there are some things that I really wish it had. And you know, if we're drawing the comparison with NeoVim, then it's just not a fair fight. It really isn't, because of all the kind of plugins, and it's so robust, and it just doesn't work. Now, it does micro work for me? Yeah, it does. And does it? Do I wish it had some different functionality and different plugins? 100%. I'll give you a couple examples, and I think you've already heard me talk about the tree not being what I would like it to be. Okay, it's just not. Does it work? You know, when you look at the comparison between, where it is, yeah, here and this, it's not even in the same ballpark. It really isn't. Now, while I'm looking at this, I love the color preview. I don't even remember. Is it called color preview? Vim. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot, aren't I? Config in Vim. Here we go. And then this. All right. So it's called Vim CSS color. Okay. So basically, what it is, though, it's a color preview. Okay. So that when I'm looking at something that has color, like I had before on the screen, it shows that color. Okay, what was it? Didn't I have that was color? Oh, it was this, right? So I could see what the color is for certain things. It's fantastic. Now, I've asked and put a request in for that plugin. Again, I cannot write the plugin for micro, but if it was written, I would use it 100%, and I would probably use it to the extent where I would not need to use Vim at all. And I don't need to use either one. I can use Genie or maybe some of the other text editors that are graphic, you know, GUI type of text editors, and be fine with it, because I'm just, like I said, I'm not their technology, you know, with a technical need to do this. I like it because I think it's light and fast. But so of the problems, or not problems, but of the wishes that I had for micro would be basically redoing, because I don't even think this file manager has been touched in years. And then, you know, if there was a plugin written in Lua to show color preview, that would kind of like make me really, really happy. Okay. But other than that, like I've said, I think that the micro is something for people that don't like using the, you know, the H, J, K, and L keys, and using the I to insert and stuff like that. No, I mean, I wish that I could, and maybe if I used the what's it called, the Vim tutor, that I would get more and more proficient at it. But I'm just not there. Yeah. So thank you for watching, and thank you for spending time on my channel, and I'll see you soon.